Hello, you beautiful human, and welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Room. My name is Danielle Grant, and I am your host. And this show today is brought to you by the Spiritual Room. If this is the first time that we are meeting, what is going on? Welcome to this beautiful high vibe container. If this is not the first time that we are meeting, hello and welcome back. We're so excited to see you. If you are new around here, I just wanted to let you know what this is. The Spiritual Room is a space where we connect twice a week to really learn more about ourselves and to awaken and ascend into our highest consciousness as really the earth awakens in the great awakening and we merge into this new earth. And before we dive into today's show and just give people a couple minutes to hop on here, I would like to go ahead, and it looks like we have a little bit of a low Wi-Fi, but I'm just going to try to reset it really quick and troubleshoot. It looks like we're back in business, but that's good. But before we dive into it and just wait for some people to hop on here, and when you join us, say hello in the comments and let us know that you're here. If you are watching the replay of this or you're catching this later on YouTube, leave us a comment. Let us know that you're here. So before we dive in, I wanted to just let you know a little bit about the Spiritual Room because this is a new platform that is launching, and really it's my job to make sure that you get the information as your guide. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here. Hello, good morning, whoever just popped on here. So I just want to show you quick on the website here, the Spiritual Room, as I said, where this is all about supporting your awakening and ascension into the new earth. And we have some really awesome offerings and events going on. We have one coming up here in October, on October 28th, which is Understanding Meditation, the Secret to Your Peace. And this event is really allowing you to move beyond the excuses that you're telling yourself about meditation and to understand truly what it is and why you want to take action on it, and then how to actually incorporate it into your life and making sure that we find the best meditations for you. So you can go ahead, and if that you feel called to that, you can register that. We have the new moon ceremony, which we host every month, the full moon ceremony, and then we have our November offerings. So the first one is Buddhism 101, which if you're new to Buddhism, I want you to just know that it's not about religion. It's really about understanding consciousness and enlightenment. And in this quick 45-minute talk, I'm going to be sharing with you more about that and helping you understand that on a deeper level. And then we have the Understanding Buddhism. So every month, just like October, we host a lecture that you can attend that's 2 to 3 hours long. Like I said, this month is Understanding Meditation, and next month is Understanding Buddhism, the ultimate truth. So again, if you feel called to that, go ahead and click and register for that. And then we have the last one in November, which is What is Meditation? And this one, again, is just helping you continue to understand and deepen that understanding of meditation, because it's so much more than what we truly understand. And if you feel called, we have the self-study program there, which is the Mindfulness Playbook class, which is the first class that the Spiritual Room is hosting. So we have all that on the spiritualroom.co. You guys go ahead and head there. Lots of really cool stuff going on. As it says here up at the top, we're going to be launching on November 1st, but just wanted to get those announcements out as we get started here today. So I'm going to take this off the screen here. Good morning, Neil. Hello. Thank you again for showing up. See you in a couple hours. Today, I really want to, before we dive into it though, I just want to, first of all, if you haven't gone and watched any of the other spiritual shows that I've put out for the last few weeks, or we've put out for the last few weeks, I really encourage you to do so, because I'm talking really about one subject, and the subject is astrology and why we should consider astrology and actually the impacts that it plays in our life. And I've been going through kind of an astrology journey over the last few weeks, helping you understand that on a deeper level. So if you haven't, go ahead and rewatch those as part of the playlist on YouTube. Or if you're in the Spiritual Room community, they're under the in the library section. So you can go ahead and click on that. But I want to continue the conversation today in regards to the astrology energies. And last episode on Tuesday, I was talking about the full moon energies, because right now, yesterday, Wednesday the 20th, wherever you are in the world, we actually experienced the Hunter's full moon in Aries. And the full moon in itself brings us different energies. So again, go ahead and watch that. But today I want to talk about the current energies that we're experiencing astrologically. So right now we're experiencing actually a shift into Scorpio, and it's just a shift into the Scorpio energy. And today I want to talk a little bit more about what that actually might mean. And if we might get confused sometimes in thinking that I'm talking about a horoscope and the person who is a Scorpio, this applies to them, but it's actually not like that at all. What happens is in the astrology and in the horoscopes, or astrological signs as we might call it, Scorpio, people are born within a certain time range, and so they get that horoscope or that sign of Scorpio because that's at the time that they were born in. But as we continue to ascend and live within life, as new children are born and new souls are born, they are born in this new age of Scorpio. So we always still experience the Scorpio season, but sometimes we might not experience it for years. It could be like 10, 12 years we don't experience a certain type of Scorpio energy again. And that's what I really want to talk about today, because this is actually a really incredible time in context of the full moon. Last week, or on the last episode, I was talking about the full moon. I was asking you to really look at what you needed to transform in your life, what was no longer serving you, what the ego was attaching onto, and really hearing that inner call of your desire. So that was the energy that's being influenced by the moon in Aries. But right now, this week, we have some planets that are shifting. And one of the planets is we're moving out of Libra season and we're moving into Scorpio season. We're just shifting beyond certain influences of energies. And to go deeper into this, I'm not going to go into the whole entire thing today on this episode, because I really want to empower you to begin to create a consistent routine and habit of learning more about this wisdom from the people that are experts in this. I am your guide. I'm here to show you all of the amazing things that live within this conscious space, but I'm not an expert in astrology. It's not my jam. It's not my thing. And so I'm going to pull up on the screen right now here Molly McCord. And this is not the first time I've talked about Molly McCord, because she is someone who is a big influence in my life in understanding astrology. She has been an astrologist and studying astrology for quite a few decades. And she's really great at her job, and she can deliver it in a way that makes us feel like we can understand it. So on the screen here, you can see there's the weekly intuitive astrologies. The first one here in the energies of October 20th to 27th. Of course, we're going to run ads on here because it's not premium version, which again, I encourage you, if you do have it, to go ahead and upgrade that. But here's it here. So this is it. Like, I'm just showing you that you can just hop on YouTube for free, and it's a 45-minute video. And she's explaining to you in depth what these energies are actually talking about and what we're experiencing and how they're moving and what planets are running conjunct. And so I want to empower you now. I will link it up under this video to go ahead and watch this. And I empower you to subscribe to her channel and begin to consume her information. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I personally am someone who has mentioned that I like to run astrology in my life. I like to really understand what the planets are doing and what the energies are saying and what they're trying to communicate to me, so that I can best leverage the ascension of myself. And as I was listening to this one, which she just released yesterday, I started to have this aha of like, wow, that's exactly what I was talking about on Tuesday's show. And so that's what I'm really excited about to share today, because the shift into Scorpio is really all about hearing that internal call and hearing that thing that's truly on your heart that you want to do that maybe you're afraid to do, and really getting you to hear it and see it as clearly as you possibly can right now. And so, what in your life right now are you feeling inside where you're like, I really want to shift that, or I want to look at that, or it's coming up and I'm constantly thinking about it? That is coming up right now through the Scorpio energies. And the cool thing about Scorpio energies that you'll begin to learn is at times it can actually be a quite lighter energy. It can feel a lot easier for us, and it can feel like we kind of offer this space of stillness and silence to move through it if we allow ourselves that space, right? Because we're so busy in our day-to-day life, we're always going to the next thing, to the next. We don't think about this. But if we can allow ourselves that time to just kind of relax and go down to maybe an easier, more flow pace, you can absorb these energies more. And what you'll find actually is that this feels right to you, is that it feels like, oh, I just slowed down to really absorb this nice space that I've been offered, this lighter space that I've been offered. And you don't really want to move beyond it. You don't want to get back to that hustle and bustle of life. But within that space that Scorpio offers us, it truly offers us that connection to our inner self, to our intuitive self, and really asking us, like, are we going the right direction? That thing that's on our heart, is it coming up for a reason? And why am I not giving myself the permission to move into it or to move beyond it? And these are really important questions that we need to be asking ourselves. And so in context of the last spiritual show that I released, I was sharing my particular story so that you could find your story in it. And I was saying, over the last few weeks, I've really been feeling this pull to move into more of the spiritual truth and to really share what I want to share. But internally, there was still that aspect of being scared and afraid and doubtful and of judgment. And over the last few weeks, I've been hearing this stuff come up saying, Danielle, you need to clear it. You need to move beyond it. And that's these energies leading up to the Scorpio space right now. And so right now I'm in a space now where I've been thinking about clearing these things. I've been taking action to move beyond them for the last few weeks. And as the energies start to influence and come into us right now, I'm feeling this place of groundedness. And I'm hearing more of, is there anything left that you need to clear? Is there anything left that's in your way to really align with this higher purpose for yourself? And that's being influenced by the Scorpio energies. Now, as I've mentioned before in a previous episode, you'll find we go into different aspects of Scorpio energies at different times of the year with different planets that give different trines. And you'll find that Scorpio energy is quite consistent in the sense that it's always asking you to just double check on that intuition. Are you taking action on that intuition? Are you truly listening to what it's asking of you? Is it asking of you to look at the desire that you want to move forward on? Is it asking of you to clear some friendships? Is it asking you to look at how you're showing up in your relationships and how you can maybe shift? What is it that it's showing you right now? And on that note, this shouldn't feel heavy, like this shouldn't feel like a lot of work. This shouldn't feel like something that's so like gruesome and resistant. It should feel easy, and it should feel like something that's true to you. And if there's any sort of resistance, you know that you're still operating too much in that ego. And that's coming up right now because the full moon energies are influencing this idea of what are you still holding on within your ego mind? What are the beliefs that you're still holding on to? And that full moon energy is asking you to release those and transform beyond those. And the Scorpio energy is asking you to look and see what else is left in the tank that you're not aligning with, or what else needs to shift so that you can start to move towards that desire that's on your heart. And for those of you that are watching this right now, can you feel that in your life right now? Let us know in the comments. What are you experiencing right now? What do you feel is coming up to shift? Do you feel yourself moving closer to that desire? Do you feel yourself being asked to challenge a behavior that maybe wasn't serving you? What is it that you're experiencing right now? Not only in this influence of Scorpio, but in this influence of the full moon. What I really want to highlight, though, in this conversation is just look how connected your life is to this idea of astrological events and this idea of understanding these signs and these planets and how the things move and how it's truly showing up in your life. It's so, so connected. And that just should offer some sort of like internal motivation or inspiration to think, I need this deeper wisdom in my life. And that could be as much as just tapping into Molly McCord or watching the spiritual room shows or checking out any of the offerings that the spiritual room has at thespiritualroom.co and seeing what's a fit for you. Because as you begin to put yourself more and more in these situations, just like you would going to the gym. If you keep going to the gym, you're going to continue to refine your body and get stronger and healthier. If you keep putting yourself in these situations to learn this information and to understand how it's influencing and impacting your life, you will grow. You will grow and ascend into the person that you're here to experience. And I say the person that you're here to experience because you're not a human here to experience. You're a spiritual being here to experience. And that experience is already determined for you. It's whether you actually allow your human self, your human aspect, to experience it. And that is really done through turning inwards and deciding what it is that you're being called towards, what it is that you need to shift, what behaviors you need to change. And in this nice light time of Scorpio right now, where it feels a lot easier and it feels like that call is being asked of you, now's the time. Now's the time to lean into it. You go to the gym because you want to work out your arms, your butt, or change a different aspect of your body. This is no different. You want to change a certain behavior. You want to let go of things that aren't serving you. You need to understand how it works and what is truly going on beyond you in order to make it work the best for you. Neil says, in many aspects, the answer is yes. Yes, of course you're experiencing this because everyone's experiencing it. It's just whether or not you're taking the time to actually acknowledge, hey, I am being asked this thing right now. I'm hearing this thing over and over again in my mindset. I am being asked to look at this thing in my life over and over again. Do you have the awareness around that? Do you have the awareness around that? And so today, I don't want to dive too much into it because, again, I really want to empower you to really listen to what Molly McCord had to say here. I'll pull it up on the screen more and more times so you can make sure that you see it. Molly McCord, Weekly Intuitive Astrology and Energies. She puts these out every week, and she really helps you understand the influence of the energy for the week. And so today, I just really want to empower you to start to tap into this resource and be diligent with it. Tap in every week. Tap in once a month if that's the best that you can do. But stay consistent with it and start to incorporate this information into your life because it's going to take you down a different direction. And the direction that it's going to take you down is one that's ascending and evolving into your highest aspect. And right now, as we move into this great awakening and this new earth of higher consciousness and just people truly awakening to what is, this is the information that's going to keep you grounded and rooted. This is the stuff that they don't teach you in school, but this is the stuff that is the truth of us. And so if you can begin to follow this as if you were beginning to follow it within an education system, which this is nothing more than educating yourself in astrology, you will see the difference in your life. And so that is what I want to share today. on the Spiritual Room show, really understanding that this week we have this influence of Scorpio energies. It's meant to be light. It's meant to ask you what else is left in there that you need to shift and to change as you move into the season of transformation. And really, this time of the year where people begin to put their head down and really get focused on what it is that they want to move forward. So for you that's watching this, let us know in the comments, what is it for you that you are experiencing right now that you're like, yeah, this is the thing that my focus is on. For me, my focus is on making sure that I show up in the fullness of this, of delivering this wisdom in the spiritual room, and truly just moving beyond any sort of limitation that I have within my ego mind that's telling me that I can't do this. That is what I'm being asked to do. And when I ask myself what's left in the tank, there's not much left in there because I'm looking at it, I'm asking to shift it, but I can hear the internal call from the influence of Scorpio asking me, what else is in there before you take action? Because it will serve me better if I get in the tank a little bit more and ask myself, what else is in there beyond moving out there? So what is it for you that you are focused on right now that you are ascending beyond? Is it a behavior? Is it a certain project? Is it a personal goal? What is it that you're aligning with? And as we wrap up the show today, I would like to invite you, if you haven't already, to join the Spiritual Room community. Go ahead to thespiritualroom.co. The bottom, there's a link to join the weekly communication, and in there is a link to join the Spiritual Room community. I'm building this out right now, and we are developing an app, but right now we have an interim solution, and it's really great, and it's growing and building every day. And that's where you're going to find like-minded people who are also having similar conversations with you in regards to this conversation. People that are brand new to astrology, people that are seasoned in astrology, and people just sharing their experiences of what they're experiencing right now in the world and what these energies are offering them. And again, if you want to check out the offerings for October, we have the Understanding Meditation, and then we have the 4 offerings in November. You can head to the website, thespiritualroom.co, and go ahead and enroll yourself in whatever you feel called to. So thank you so much for joining me for today's spiritual show. I will see you next week on Tuesday, where we are once again continuing and finalizing our conversation of astrology before we move into the month of November. And the topic for November is Buddhism. So all of our spiritual shows are going to be rooted in Buddhism wisdom and expanding your understanding of Buddhism. So if you haven't already signed up for the reminders, again, those are in the Spiritual Room community, and you go ahead and sign up for that, and then get the daily and weekly reminders, I guess, for the spiritual show. So again, thank you so much for joining me for today's show, and I will see you next week for another one where we continue the conversation around astrology. I hope you have an absolute fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Namaste. Peace and love.